Have you ever caught yourself looking in the mirror and wondering where that confident person you used to be has gone? The truth is, so many of us over 60 find ourselves facing this exact challenge. That slow loss of confidence that happens bit by bit as we get older. But here's what most people don't realize. This confidence dip isn't inevitable. In fact, these years can actually become your most self-assured chapter yet. I'm going to show you exactly how that's possible today. What if I told you that in the next few minutes, you could discover 5 proven approaches that have helped thousands of people, just like you completely transform how they feel about themselves after 60? These aren't complicated psychology techniques or trendy quick fixes. These are straightforward, practical strategies that tap into wisdom you've already earned through decades of living. And stick with me until the end, because the 5th technique I'll share is something most people our age never discover. Yet it's possibly the most powerful confidence builder of all. It's a simple shift in perspective that can literally change how you approach every single day. Before we dive in, I want you to know something important. Confidence isn't about acting younger or denying your age. True confidence at this stage comes from embracing exactly who you are now, with all your experience, wisdom, and yes, even the challenges. And that's exactly what we're going to explore together today. So let's get started with the first powerful way to reclaim that confidence that's rightfully yours. The first approach is what I call wisdom mining. This is about recognizing that everything you've lived through, every challenge, every triumph, every lesson, has given you invaluable wisdom that younger people simply don't have. But here's the thing, many of us have never actually taken inventory of this wisdom. We're sitting on a gold mine and not even realizing it. Try this. Set aside 30 minutes with nothing but a blank piece of paper. Start writing down the most significant challenges you've overcome in your life. Think about what exactly got you through them. What inner strengths did you discover? What strategies worked? What wisdom did you gain that you still carry with you? I remember doing this exercise myself and being genuinely surprised at how much I'd forgotten about my own resilience. Times when I'd adapted to massive changes, navigated tough decisions without a roadmap, rebuilt after losses. These weren't just past events, they were proof of my capabilities. When you document your wisdom this way, something powerful happens. You create concrete evidence of your competence that your brain can't argue with. And the next time you face uncertainty, instead of that nagging voice saying, "I don't know if I can handle this," you'll have actual proof that you've handled difficult things before and quite successfully. What's especially powerful about this technique is that it works immediately. You already have this wisdom, you're just bringing it to the surface of your awareness. And once it's there, it becomes a foundation you can build on. But confidence isn't just about what's in your head, it's also about how you present yourself in the world. That brings us to our second powerful approach, physical presence renewal. Many of us don't realize how much our physical presence affects our internal confidence. When our posture slumps, when our movements become hesitant, when we take up less space, we're not just expressing low confidence, we're actually creating it. Here's what's fascinating, this works in reverse too. By consciously adjusting your physical presence, you can actually generate confidence from the outside in. Your body doesn't just express your mind, it influences it. Try this simple practice daily. Stand tall with your feet firmly planted about shoulder width apart. Roll your shoulders back and down. Lift your chest slightly. Now raise your chin just enough that it's parallel to the floor. Take 3 deep breaths while maintaining this posture. What you're doing is adopting what researchers call a power pose, a physical position that actually changes your hormonal balance, reducing stress hormones and increasing confidence-related hormones. Do this for just 2 minutes, and you'll feel a noticeable shift in how confident you feel. Beyond the science, there's something even more important happening. When you carry yourself with dignity and presence, you're making a statement to yourself and others. I matter. I belong in this space. I have value to bring. And speaking of value, that's exactly what our third approach focuses on. Value circulation. One of the biggest confidence drains after 60 is the feeling that we're no longer as valuable or needed as we once were. Maybe retirement has left a purpose gap. Maybe family roles have shifted. Whatever the cause, this sense of diminished value can devastate confidence. But here's what I want you to understand: your value hasn't diminished at all. What's changed is the circulation of that value. Think of it like this: value, like energy, needs to flow. When we stop actively circulating our gifts, knowledge, and strength, we start to doubt they exist at all. The solution is surprisingly simple. Create regular opportunities to give your value to others. This doesn't mean grand gestures or formal volunteering, though those are wonderful too. It can be as simple as looking for small daily ways to share your strengths. Are you a good listener? Make a point of giving someone your full attention each day. Do you have knowledge about gardening, cooking, history, or crafts? Find ways to share these gifts informally. Are you good at solving practical problems? Look for opportunities to help others work through challenges. When you consistently circulate your value, two important things happen. First, you receive external validation as people respond positively to your contributions. But even more importantly, you remind yourself of what you have to offer. You prove to yourself, through action, that you remain valuable and needed. I've seen this approach completely transform people's sense of self-worth. There's something almost magical about witnessing someone who felt invisible suddenly recognize that they have something meaningful to offer, and then watching their confidence bloom as they begin sharing it with others. Now, as we move forward, I want to acknowledge something important. Rebuilding confidence isn't always smooth or linear. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, days when you feel like you're sliding backward. That's completely normal, and it leads us directly to our fourth powerful approach: resilience rituals. Confidence isn't about never falling down. It's about having a reliable way to get back up. Resilience rituals are the practices that help you recover your confidence when it inevitably takes a hit. The most effective resilience ritual I've found is what I call compassionate reframing. When something happens that shakes your confidence, maybe you make a mistake, receive criticism, or face a rejection, your internal narrative about that event will determine whether it becomes a confidence killer or a confidence builder. Here's how compassionate reframing works. When your confidence is shaken, pause and take a deep breath. Then ask yourself 3 questions. First, how would I respond to a good friend who experienced this same situation? Second, what perspective on this event might still be true but less harsh than my initial reaction? And third, what can I learn from this that might actually benefit me going forward? This ritual works because it interrupts the automatic negative spiral that confidence-shaking events can trigger. Instead of falling into harsh self-judgment, catastrophizing, or defeatist thinking, you're creating a path back to balanced perspective and self-compassion, both essential for sustainable confidence. I've seen people transform decades-long patterns of giving up after setbacks by implementing this simple ritual. The beauty of it is that over time, it becomes more automatic. Your resilience muscle gets stronger, making your confidence more stable even in challenging situations. We've covered a lot of ground already: excavating your wisdom, renewing your physical presence, circulating your value, and establishing resilience rituals. Each of these approaches on its own can significantly boost your confidence. But now I want to share what might be the most powerful confidence-building approach of all: identity evolution. This 5th approach addresses something fundamental that many people over 60 struggle with: reconciling who they were with who they are now. When we hold on to outdated versions of our identity, defined perhaps by career achievements, physical capabilities, or roles that have changed, we set ourselves up for an impossible competition with our past selves. And that's a competition no one can win. Identity evolution is about consciously updating how you define yourself to honor both your history and your present reality. It's about recognizing that confidence at this stage doesn't come from being who you were 20 years ago. It comes from fully embracing and valuing who you are today. Here's a powerful exercise to begin this evolution. Take a few minutes to complete the sentence, "I used to be," as many times as feels relevant. Let yourself acknowledge the identities, roles, and capabilities that have changed. Then, for each one, create a new sentence that begins with, "And now I am." This isn't about replacing or erasing your past. It's about creating continuity while acknowledging growth and change. For example, "I used to be able to work 12-hour days, And now I am someone who values quality of engagement over quantity of hours. I used to be defined by my career achievements, and now I'm exploring parts of myself that never had space to emerge before. I used to be someone who rarely asked for help, and now I am learning the strength it takes to be interdependent. When we consciously update our identity this way, we stop trying to derive confidence from outdated metrics. We create space to recognize and value different strengths, different contributions, different ways of being in the world that are perfectly aligned with who we are now. I've seen this approach create profound shifts for people who had been struggling with confidence for years. There's a particular kind of liberation that comes with releasing the expectation to be who you once were, and instead embracing the unique person you've become. What makes these approaches so effective is that they work together, reinforcing each other in a positive cycle. As you mine your wisdom, you have more value to circulate. As you renew your physical presence, you strengthen your resilience. As you evolve your identity, you discover new wisdom. Each approach supports and enhances the others. Before we wrap up, I want to ask you to do something important. Right now, choose just one of these approaches to focus on this week. Just one. Which one resonated most strongly with you? Which one feels most doable right now? Which one addresses your most pressing confidence challenge? I'd love to hear which approach you're going to focus on first. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insight might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Remember, confidence isn't a fixed trait. It's a skill that can be rebuilt and strengthened at any age. The approaches we've discussed today aren't quick fixes or empty affirmations. They're proven strategies that address confidence at its roots, creating sustainable change over time. And if you found value in these strategies, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video popping up on your screen.